Disc golf fans, rejoice. We're back here at the 2016 Konopiste Open, the second event on the inaugural Disc Golf World Tour. I'm Jamie Thomas with SpinTV, proud to bring you coverage from all around the world. Beautiful Franz Ferdinand Disc Golf Park. And we've got a star-packed lead card. Paul McBeth has climbed to a one-stroke lead over KJ Nybo after 9 holes, 2 over Simon, a handful over Nate Sexton. As we go to hole 10, 112-meter par 3. Not really too much in the way here. You just need about a 350-foot left-to-right finishing shot. Paul McBeth is going to do the honors for us here on this back 9. Looks like he's lining up his sidearm shot. And it's about perfect right there as it snuggles under the basket. Simon Lizotte going to go backhand, the overstable disc. And that's coming out of it a little bit early. And that's the risky run when you throw that much of a touch shot. Simon has a really good forehand. Surprising to see him go backhand there. KJ Nybo is going to do the same thing. Good angle on his shot. He's going to have a little bit of a tester putt. Putt that he will need to stay within 1 stroke of Paul right now. Nate Sexton also going to line up the forehand. He sends that one. That's a beautiful flight to it. Forehand looks like the way to go here as Simon's going to be furthest out. About 45 feet. Little rustle in the leaves, but not too much wind going on out there. And he just left it a little bit short. Tailed out, chains couldn't grab it. KJ adding to that inside the circle putting percentage with a very nice birdie snag there. Nate Sexton's going to step up. Nice and easy. Toss it in. Paul. With my favorite putt in disc golf. I'm sure some of y'all out there agree with me. Simon's going to fall to 3 back of McBeth after that. The rest of the card will stay relatively in the same places. And that's 1 hole down at Konopiste. We'll be right back. No surprise there, Innova Disc Golf, big supporter of the Disc Golf World Tour and of SpinTV. Thank them for everything they've done. Let's get to a longer hole. Let's get to one where these guys really have an opportunity to air it out. Hole 11. My money's on Simon getting farthest up the fairway. Let's see where McBeth places his. Ooh. My money's not a safe bet with that throw. Great shot. Looked like it was one of, I guess, Paul's destroyers, and he really just put that over on a very nice line. Good distance line there. KJ opting for a little bit of a tighter S out of that flight. Looks to be Really nicely done in the fairway. Good camera work there to follow that all the way to the ground. Sexton needs a roller. Looks like it slipped out a little bit early. That's got to stand up. Needs to get local. Man, the spectators are saying out of bounds. Nate's not too happy with that one. And the big gun. Simon's going to be in the fairway. Hard to tell, but I might have lost money if I had bet that. Simon got furthest up. No big deal, Nate. Just throw it right through that little tiny gap in front of you. Get back out into the fairway. KJ has cleared that wall of trees that seems to be guarding an open shot up to the pin. But the fairway narrows down there towards the basket. Really got to watch, see what kind of angle this disc is going to have as it approaches the ground. Wow.
Flexi. Come on.
Simon's asking for the flex. Didn't quite get it. This course is just absolutely gorgeous. Grounds crew here, having a very large piece of land to mow and prep, and got a nice fairway, defined rough. This makes playing disc golf just giving a little bit of that country club feel. Really nice. Paul put enough on it there to make sure it would get to the basket. He's got a comebacker. Nate's third shot, a little tricky. Looks like he got caught up behind some trees. This would be a par 5, so Simon's going to go for an eagle from the knee. This is for par for Nate, I believe, with the out-of-bounds stroke. And he almost saves it in what would have been a very good scrambling par. KJ is essentially a tap-in for eagle, so Paul doesn't want to lose a stroke after a good drive and up shot. Not very typical from Paul. Usually a very good putter, goes without saying. Nate, too, the Sexy Beast Tour, missing some very makeable putts. And that man right there is who this benefits the most. Now, Paul and KJ will be tied, provided KJ can properly tap in this eagle. I believe he can. Good form. Little tip of the cap to the gallery there. A little congrats from Avery. And that is going to tie Paul and KJ 28 under par. Simon and Nate just not quite getting all the birdies they want to get, or they're giving them back in Nate's case. But Simon is still 3 back, and after this hole, it'll mark 2/3 of the way through the course, so still some time. Wow. That is a ridiculously touch shot.
Come on, get right.
Between those two shots there, you can see why KJ went for that high backhand. Paul extending it a little bit past the gap, not going right enough. Simon getting around the corner successfully. And another case where the Europeans opt for the backhand. The Americans are going to throw forehand. Wow, Sexton teardropping that one in there, but going to end up a little bit short of where he wants to be. There's KJ just outside the fairway in the rough. And that is a shot that'll make your heart skip a beat right there. Any little bit of tickle off of a tree or not putting enough on it, it's going to put you right in line for some water. Just two no-fear shots from the Dane and the German. See how the Yanks will respond. Nate Sexton trusting his forehand on this hole, getting good results out of it. Should be a birdie putt for Nate. Paul's looking for a birdie throw-in, and that's on line. Ooh. Wow. Alright. I don't have anything for you, Nate. That was great. I'll give you the hashtag. Nasty Nate for that. After missing the par putt on the last hole, to have the confidence to come drain that. Simon gets his birdie. KJ lines up. Cam's his as well, but man, I'm still thinking about Nate Sexton. What a great putt. 12 holes down. Nate's making a move. 3 birdies for the card. Paul McBeth's going to par. It's going to give KJ a 1-stroke lead and keep Simon 3 back of him, 2 back of Paul. Still anybody's game at this point, as UC has made another championship caliber course out here. There hasn't been a shot on this course yet that these pros can't throw. But constantly testing these guys off the tee and making them throw great shot after great shot requires a lot of focus. And Simon corrects from his mistake on hole 10. There was that textbook Anheuser. Looked like a mid-range. It's like a glow plastic mid-range he's throwing.
Go.
Nate's trusting his forehand once again, seeking the chains. Little short. Beautiful line. He's on the dance floor.
Get down. Get behind. Get down. Get down.
And there's the first big mistake from Paul on this back nine. KJ with a little slip up too, trying to add to his lead. And the door suddenly becomes wide open for Simon. Sexton capitalizing on the opportunity. Getting himself a little bit closer. He would still need a few more things to fall his way in order to climb up back into that podium spot. But you never know what the chase card is shooting, so you're still jockeying for any kind of position you can get. Sexton's 7 back of the leader, and all of a sudden, it's only 2 strokes between the top 3 once again. We've got a KJ Simon Paul battle. Let's go to 14. It's a par 4. Little S curve in the opposite way that hole 12 was. These guys get to go hyzer off the tee. And Simon sneaks it around the corner. He probably was trying to play that one a little bit wider and get up into the short grass. Nate's going to make the same mistake, but whereas Simon's power saved him, Nate did not quite have enough on that disc to get him around the trouble corner.
Wow.
A wow from Simon Lizotte as KJ matches his drive. Let's see how Paul can recover here. A little tickle from that tree. And he is going to have just enough to get past that tree. Nate with a ceiling in front of him. Just really leaning into that shot. What a recovery. He's going to have a look. Tells you why these guys are considered the best in the world.
Come on, move.
A little easier shot from Paul here. He's left it a little wide. Nope. Good skip at the end of it. Can be hard to tell out here on this course. It's a little wild trying to figure out if the disc will skip. Simon's going to guarantee his birdie with that upshot.
Hunt, baby, hunt. Yeah.
And that is easily within the range of KJ. Depending upon where those branches are in his view, may add a little bit of difficulty to that putt. Sexton, a little jump putt. I can't recall ever seeing that move out of Nate before, but good enough to save birdie. Good scramble after that tee shot. And that's a clutch putt. With both Simon and Paul nipping at his heels. The lead is very thin and KJ needed that birdie stroke. Star frame from the lead card here on 14. They all did it very different ways, but they all end up with the same score. Paul McBeth's 10 down through 14 is still not enough to give him the lead as he trails KJ by 1 stroke. 4 holes to go. 2 strokes between the top 3. We're headed for an exciting finish. There's a mistake out of Simon as he wants to flex more distance out of it, but just gets that right side of the disc too far over.
There you go, Sexton.
Nate had a nice little subtle change in his drive there, lofting it a little bit, but throwing it flat. Matching the angle of this fairway. KJ does as well. Another very tricky fairway for right-handed players. Sloping down from right to left. Height control on your shot is a premium here. Paul's getting a wind lift. That might be trouble. Pretty good tree kick there. If he had gone left of that tree, be a little more of a difficult upshot. Here's Simon going for a flex route again, but again, too much. Too much on the flex, trying to play anti to the way the fairway is sloped. And here's what you want to do. Throw the shot that fades against the slope of that hill. KJ's got an opportunity here. Babied that one just a little bit. Paul. He's going to leave it a little bit hyzer. Unnecessarily, it didn't seem like the tree was that much in his way. That's just a misstep. And Simon. He said, I'm not done with you guys yet. He's just confused as to why that didn't go in. I know that look from Simon Lizotte. He thinks everything should go in once it leaves his hands. And bailing out both Simon and Paul. KJ missing that crucial birdie putt for the lead. As Paul's going to tie him. Between these top three guys at their level, and Sexton too even, at their level of play, it's as much about punishing mistakes as it is playing against the course. You play against these same guys week in and week out. You gotta know how their game plays, where their strengths are, where their weaknesses are, and when to attack it. You can see Paul and KJ gonna be tied at 30 under par. Simon's 2 back. Let's go to a big right hook of a par 5.
That's beauty. Get around that corner.
That's good.
And Avery, the forehand guru, likes that one. See what Paul opts to do. Favoring the backhand. Going for big distance here if he can clear the corner.
Come on, do it again.
Might sneak.
He was counting on the way that land drops off as you go down the fairway, just giving it that extra carry. Simon wants the roller.
Come on. Fight your way out there.
It's gonna, again, the raw power of Simon improving his lie just enough where it won't punish him that badly. He's made a couple of errors in placement of the disc off the tee in the last couple holes, but his power has saved him.
Throw it.
KJ being the opposite type of player who typically has very good placement with his drivers. I'm going to assume he was going for that gap intentionally. Paul's throwing the big flex. Flirts with the left side rough. Emerges pretty unscathed there. And I can't tell what's better, that shot or the camera work. Great job on both counts. Simon's having a little bit of trouble in this back nine getting that Anheuser flex route under control. There's been multiple opportunities to throw that kind of shot, and he just hasn't shown his typical proficiency with it. Sexton goes big off the tee there. Or excuse me, big second shot after a big tee shot. He strung a couple of them together very nicely. Paul from the left side of the fairway, staring down the barrel. And it sure looked like it hit the big tall grass, but reacted like it hit the fairway, so either way, he's putting for birdie. Simon, a little Annie run to set up a birdie putt for him as well. No problem. Should be 4 birdies on this par 5. Another star frame inbound. And again, 4 birdies achieved in 4 very different ways. Those are the best kind of courses to watch, when each player can kind of flex out the strengths of their game, still have the same opportunities. So we're going to hole 17. Basket's protected by 2 trees. If you're going to go big Annie to try to get there, you've got to throw over that tree on the left and far enough past the tree on the right that's guarding the basket. Where you do like Nate Sexton here and you put that thing on the ground. But man, if you get any bit off the fairway with that roller, it just saps the energy right out of that shot. Paul's going big. But that uphill throw. If there's a hole made for Simon to reach it over everybody else, this is the one. See, violent follow through. His leg whips around. And that's the thing, as you look from this angle at the tee, this hole looks so inviting. And it is not as easy to throw and get it up there as you want to believe.
I think I'll try in the air, actually.
Sexton switching his ideas here. Thought about rolling it. Just tried to get a little bit too fancy.
No! Come on.
Always in good spirits. Sexton has the kind of mentality that you want to teach everybody who plays the game. His mental game allows him to play at his best without, getting in his own way every time he steps on the course. Paul's up shot's a little short. definitely still has the opportunity to cash the birdie. Big shot for KJ right here. Finally executed. Slightly uphill from the basket. Well within the circle. And here's Simon Lizotte. Lofts it up. And finds the chains. Oh my goodness. An eagle when he needed it in the worst way. And Simon is not out of this thing yet, folks. With only one hole to go, that is a clutch eagle. Wow. Nate with his third shot. Can he get a little Simon magic himself? I mean, to throw it uphill on this angle of a green with a slight tailwind nonetheless. Trying to slam your disc to the ground, and he puts just enough on it. And Paul with a huge putt there. He's not ready to surrender either. And you want to talk about being upstaged. That is exactly what just happened, as KJ and Paul played this hole perfectly. No errors in execution, great birdie putts to can the three, but Simon steals the stage and jumps up. He's only one stroke back with one to go. Let's find out how this tournament unfolds right now. Hole 18. 136-meter par 3, the finishing hole. It's going downhill. This is a must-get birdie, and Simon getting a little kick off the tree. Pretty neutral kick. Didn't hurt him too much. Didn't help him that much either. But if Paul or KJ can park it, then Simon's chances get real slim real quick. Paul's looking for it to go right, and it just never sat up that far. He babied that a little bit too much, I guess, trying not to flip it over, but it never went right. That's not going to be the drive he wants. KJ with a chance to seal the tournament here. And he's made the same mistake. He's going off towards the left. He needs a kick, and he's not going to get it. All of a sudden, Simon Lizotte has a chance at this thing. He's the only player of those top three that has a clean look at the basket. And Sexton just wants to give us a show here. And he's going to be CTP. Long run for KJ. He needs to win here. And not really giving it too much of a chance. Paul. Oh, that's world champ love right there. He gets right between those two trees. And he just didn't give it enough. He wants that. I know he wants that putt back so badly. And this is Simon to tie and force his way into a playoff. Got it. And it's going to be a three-way playoff that involves Simon Lizotte for the second time this year. Paul, Simon, and Nate battled it out at the Nick Hyde Memorial earlier this season in Texas. We're going to trade Nate Sexton, who's had a fantastic weekend, for KJ Nybo and do a 3-way playoff. But first, let's see if Sexton can end the round with a nice birdie putt here. Just a little bit of that right to left wind lifted his disc just enough. KJ cleans up his place. Going to stay in that playoff. Paul Will is well, barring disaster here. And congratulations to all three of these guys here. A great battle, and we're going to get to see some bonus golf. Nate Sexton cleaning up his final putt of the day. He's going to end his round at 24 under par for the tournament. 6-down round.
Disc Golf Park, a natural way to create sports facilities. One of the world's fastest growing sports, disc golf offers a fun and athletic experience for people of all ages, no matter their performance level. It is an activity the whole family can enjoy and easy to learn. Disc Golf Park is an overall concept for establishing a safe, highly functional, and diverse disc golf course. A professionally designed course comes complete with disc catcher baskets, throwing pads, and a signage system. Constructing a 9-hole disc golf course requires only about 10 acres of land and can be completed within a few months. Designing a disc golf course calls for a professional. An experienced course designer adds real value to the project while considering the needs of all the parties involved. Disc Golf Park offers a complete sports facility where people are able to engage in the sport on their own. On-course safety is ensured by throwing pads and an effective signage system. A disc golf course can be established practically anywhere, in a park, next to a school, in an outdoor recreation area, or in the woods. The cost of establishing a disc golf course is only a fraction of the cost of many other sports facilities. Best of all, a disc golf course can be built with minimum environmental impact. Disc Golf Park, a natural way to create sports facilities.
And a big thanks to Disc Golf Park. You're looking at a disc golf park here, Franz Ferdinand, using all the equipment. Supporting the Disc Golf World Tour. We got some bonus golf going on. We're going to go back to hole 1. Very birdieable hole. We'll see if somebody can steal the tournament away on this hole without having to go to any of the more technical ones. The gallery's grown here as the spectators and the remaining players from the field watch the world's best to see who will become the champion of the 2016 Konopiste Open. Here's Paul McBeth's hyzer. And he's long and OB. Not the shot he wanted. KJ to throw. He's laid it up pretty short there. Again, the door swings wide open for Simon. Got some momentum. And he is threatening. Paul essentially has to make this to stay in the playoffs at this point. That's going to sail by the basket high and left. And it's going to be down to the Europeans. Europe has successfully defended the home turf. Will it be KJ or will it be Simon? KJ says, I am not done yet. And guys, we are privy to a battle that has happened many times on the European Tour. All across Europe, effectively. But never really on SpinTV have we gotten to watch the top Europeans battle. KJ and Simon going on to the second hole of the playoff here at Konopiste. Par 4, 175 meter. They're going back to 17, where the magic first started, where the train left the station that put Simon on this path. KJ will have the box first. Again, putting it in the fairway. A little further right than he was last time. Simon wants to bite off a lot of it again. And this time it flexes. He got that flex under control just in time. I think he's to the right of that tree in that little gap. KJ needs a nice touch up shot here. Staying with the backhand, which is so much harder to access this green. Does a pretty good job, but that's still not a gimme putt. Well, Simon didn't quite make it that far. A little easier of a shot than last time, but he still gets to line up this putter. Can he do it twice? A good line. A pretty much guaranteed birdie from Simon right there. KJ again with the tester. And KJ's putt's going to stay right and miss. So that means Simon Lizotte in the second hole of the playoff should become, we'll wait for it to be official, as KJ respectfully gives Simon the last putt. And now it's official. Simon Lizotte is your winner of the 2016 Konopiste Open. He's gone to the Czech Republic. He's taken it down. He's got his dad on the bag, helping out with the caddy duties this weekend. And Simon, eagles 17, birdies 18, birdies 1, birdies 17 again to become the eventual winner over KJ Nybo and Paul McBeth. Here's the scores from the lead card through the finish of the tournament. 169 strokes was all it took to force the playoffs. And the leaderboard showing a couple Finns jumping up. Seppo Paju takes 4th place over Nate Sexton, and Lassi Hakalainen will tie Nate to round out your top 5, and no surprise to see those 6 names atop the leaderboard. Simon with his second win on tour this year, coupling it with the Nick Hyde Memorial victory down in Texas, where he won another 3-man playoff. And just really off to a phenomenal start to the season, proving he's more than just a distance thrower. And that's going to do it from the Czech Republic, the second stop on the Disc Golf World Tour. They head to Finland for the European Open next. We hope you guys will tune in there. And as always, I'm Jamie Thomas, and this is SpinTV.